Good day, everybody. Today we're going to talk about foiling. So let me clear the board and let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so when we're foiling, what we want to do is simplify the following equation: x plus 3, x plus 8. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. We're going to go ahead and do it by breaking the first parenthesis apart and taking the x and 3 and separating them. So I'm going to take my x and 3. Then I'm going to take a second parenthesis and put it with both of them, x plus 8, x plus 8, and I'm going to make that equal to y. Now, all I have to do at this point is distribute. So I'm going to take my first x times x and x times 8. Well, x times x, that's going to give me my x squared. X times 8 is going to give me 8x. I have a positive times a positive. We really have to make sure we pay attention to signs. It's really critical. So I have a positive 8x. Then we take the second piece. 3 times x gives me 3x. Positive times positive makes that 3x positive. 3 times 8 gives me 24. Positive times positive is positive. And that whole thing is equal to y. Now, at this point, all I need to do is combine like terms. I'm going to have no like terms for my x squared. I'm just going to bring it straight down here, x squared. My middle two terms, my 8x and my 3x, I can combine those. They're like terms because they both have the variable x and they have exponents of 1. So I can combine those. I have 8x's. I add 3x's to it. I have 11x's. So I have x squared plus 11x. And I'm going to take my last one, my 24, that's the number without the variable, and I'm going to bring it straight down. And that's a positive 24, and that's equal to y. So what I have here is I have an x squared plus 11x plus 24 is equal to y. And this ends up being a quadratic equation standard form. And all that means is it ends up being ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to y. This is what happens when I FOIL. A is whatever number's in front of the x squared. I don't see one, so that's 1. B is whatever's number is in front of the x with variable 1. I'm sorry, exponent of 1. That's 11. And C is whatever number that does not have a variable. So let's go ahead and clear this and let's do another one. So I've got x minus 3, x minus 12 equals y. Let's take the first parenthesis and break it apart. Put x and then negative 3. Take the second parenthesis and put it with both. X minus 12, x minus 12, and that's equal to y. Now, to get rid of the parentheses, we're going to distribute x times x. That's going to give me my x squared. X times 12 is 12x. Positive times negative makes that 12x negative. 3 times x is 3x. Negative times positive is negative. 3 times 12 is 36. Negative times negative is positive. And once again, pay really close attention to the signs. It's easy to lose signs on these type of problems. That whole thing is equal to y. So I've got x squared minus 12x minus 3x plus 36 is y. We're going to combine like terms at this point. I have no like terms for my x squared. These middle two, I should always be able to combine. I have a negative 12x plus a negative 3x. The signs are the same, so I add 12 plus 3 is 15x, and I just bring down and keep the same sign, negative 15x. Then I have no other like terms for the constant. That's what C means. That's the one without the variable. That's a positive 36, so I'm going to bring it straight down, and that's equal to y. X squared minus 15x plus 36 is y. Let's look at another one. Okay, so I've got x minus 15, x plus 2 is equal to y. Let's break the first parenthesis apart. I'm going to put x and negative 15. It's going to separate the first parenthesis. Take the second parenthesis and put it with both of those pieces. X plus 2, x plus 2, and that whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all I need to do is distribute x times x, x times 2. X times x, well, that's going to give me my x squared. X times 2, 2x, positive times positive makes that 2x positive. Distribute the next piece. 15 times x is 15x. Negative times positive is negative. And 15 times 2 is 30. Negative times positive is negative. And that whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all we have to do is combine our like terms. I have no like terms for my x squared, so I'm just going to bring it straight down. These middle two, I can combine. I've got a negative 15x plus 2x. The signs are different, so I need to subtract. 15 minus 2 is 13x. 15 is my bigger number. It's negative, so that 13x ends up being negative. So negative 13x. I have no like terms for my constant number. That's the one without the variable. That's negative 30. So I just bring that down, and that whole thing is equal to y. I'm going to put 2 up there, and I want you to try both of these. So you'll pause the recording, and then you work on both of these, and then we'll do it together. Okay, so here's your 2 problems. I want you to take x minus 8, x minus 4 equals y. I want you to take x plus 3, x minus 9 equal y. Go ahead and pause the recording. Take a couple minutes. When you're done, come on back and we'll look at them together. Okay, so I'm going to take the first parenthesis, x, and negative 8, and I'm going to break it apart. I'm going to take the second parenthesis and put it with both of these. So it's going to be x minus 4, x minus 4. All I need to do now is distribute. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Positive times negative is negative. It's the second set of parentheses. Distribute. 8 times x is 8x. Negative times positive is negative. 8 times 4 is 32. Negative times negative makes that positive, and that whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all I have to do is combine my like terms. I have no like terms for my x square. Combine the middle two, I have a negative 4x plus a negative 8x. The signs are the same. 8 plus 4 is 12x, and I just keep the same sign, which is negative. I have no like terms for my constant, which is a positive 32. So we'll bring down plus 32, and that whole thing is equal to y. Let's look at the second one. X plus 3, x minus 9 equals y. Let's take the first parenthesis and break it apart. X and 3. This is called foiling, by the way. First times first, outer times outer, inner times inner, and last times last. That's foiling. So x, parentheses, second parentheses with both of them. Second parenthesis is x minus 9, x minus 9. When I distribute, I can get rid of the parentheses. I'm going to take x times x is going to give me my x squared. X times 9 gives me 9x. Positive times negative makes that a negative 9x. 3 times x is 3x. Positive times positive makes it a positive 3x. And 3 times 9 is 27. Positive times negative makes that negative. And that whole thing is equal to y. All I've got to do now is just combine my like terms. I bring down my x squared. I combine my middle two. I've got a negative 9x. I add 3 x's to it. Signs are different, so I subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6. My biggest number is 9. It's negative, so that's a negative 6x. I have no like terms for my constant. That's the number without the variable. That's negative 27. I bring it down, and that equals to y. Let's do a couple more. Okay, so we've got an x plus 5, x plus 7 equals y, and we've got an x minus 2, x minus 9 equal y. Go ahead and pause your recording. Go ahead and work on these two and come on back and we'll work on them together. So I'm going to take my first parenthesis, x plus 5, and I'm going to break it apart, x, 5. Take my second parenthesis and put it with both of these. Second parenthesis is x plus 7, x plus 7. And that equals y. Now, all I have to do to get rid of the parentheses is distribute. X times x, that gives me my x squared. X times 7, 7x. Positive times positive makes that 7x positive. Then I have 5 times x is 5x. Positive times positive is positive. 5 times 7 is 35. Positive times positive makes that 35 positive. Now, at this point, all I have to do is just combine my like terms. I have no like terms for my x squared, so I bring it straight down. These middle two I can combine. I've got 7 x's. I add 5 x's to it, so I have 12 x's. I'm going to have no like terms for my constant. That's the number without the variable. That's a positive 35, so I bring it down, and that equals to y. There's my first one. The second one is x minus 2, x minus 9. That equals y. Take my first parenthesis, and I'm just going to break it apart. And remember, this 2 is negative, so I'm going to bring that negative 2 down. I'm going to take my second parenthesis and put it with both of those. That's x minus 9, x minus 9, and that whole thing is equal to y. Now, all I have to do is distribute. X times x, that's my x squared. X times 9 is 9x. Positive times negative makes that 9x negative. Then I go 2 times x is 2x. Negative times positive makes that negative. 2 times 9 is 18. Negative times negative makes that 18 positive. That whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all I have to do is combine my like terms. I have no like terms for my x squared. The middle two, they're like terms. Negative 9x, negative 2x. The signs are the same, so I add 9 plus 2 is 11x. I just keep the same sign. I have no like terms for my constant. My constant is a positive 18, so I'm just going to bring it down, and that equals y. Let's look at two more. Sorry about that cough. So I've got x minus 7, x plus 3 equals y, x plus 4, x minus 12 equals y. Go ahead and pause the recording, take a couple minutes, work on these, and come on back and we'll do them together. So I'm going to take the first parenthesis, x minus 7, and break it apart. X, negative 7. I'm going to take the second parenthesis and put it with both of those. Second parenthesis is x plus 3, x plus 3. Let me clean that up. There we go. Make it a little later. Now, all I got to do now is just distribute. X times x, that gives me x squared. X times 3 is 3x. Positive times positive makes that 3x positive. Negative 7 times x, 7 times x is 7x. Negative times positive makes that 7x negative. 7 times 3 is 21. Negative times positive makes that 21 negative. And that whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all I have to do is combine my like terms. I'm going to bring down my x squared because there are no like terms for that. These middle two, I should always be able to combine. I've got a 3x plus a negative 7x. So I subtract 7 minus 3 is 4x. 7's my biggest number. It's negative. So that's a negative 4x. I'm going to have no like terms for my constant. That's negative 21. So I'm going to bring that down, negative 21. That whole thing is equal to y. There's your first problem. X squared, negative 4x, negative 21 is y. I'm going to look at my second problem. X plus 4, x minus 12 is y. All I have to do is to take my first parenthesis and break it apart. Put my second parenthesis with both of those. Second parenthesis is x negative 12. X negative 12. That whole thing is still equal to y. Now to get rid of the parentheses further, I'm just going to distribute x times x. That gives me x squared. X times 12 is 12x. Positive times negative is negative. Look at the second parenthesis. 4 times x is 4x. Positive times positive makes that positive. 4 times 12 is 48. Positive times negative makes that negative, and that whole thing is equal to y. At this point, all I have to do is combine my like terms. I'm going to have no like terms for my x squared. So I'm just going to bring it down, x squared. These middle two, I should always be able to combine. I have a negative 12x I'm adding 4x's to it. Signs are different, so I subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8x's. My biggest number is 12. It's negative, so my 8x is negative. My constant, that's the number without the variable, that's a negative 48. So I'm just going to bring it straight down, negative 48, and that whole thing is equal to y. Let's do two more and we'll call it a day. Okay, we've got these two problems, and these will be the last two we do. X plus 8, x plus 9 equals y. At x minus 3, x minus 7 equals y. Take a couple minutes, go to work through them, pause the recording, work on them, and come on back when you're done, and we'll do them together. So I'm going to take my first parenthesis, break it apart, x plus 8. So I'll put my x and my 8, break it apart. Take my second parenthesis and put it with both of those pieces. My second parenthesis is x plus 9. I'm going to put that with both of these, x plus 9. Now, all I have to do is distribute. X times x, that's my x square. X times 9 is 9x. Positive times positive makes that 9x positive. 8 times x is 8x. Positive times positive is positive. 8 times 9 is 72. Positive times positive is positive. All I got to do now is combine my like terms. My like terms are going to be the 9x and the 8x, but I have no like terms for my x squared, so let me bring it down. Let's combine the 9x and the 8x. Signs are the same, so I add 9 plus 8 is 17 x's, and I just keep it all positive. I have no like terms for my 72, so let's just bring down the plus 72. That whole thing is equal to y. My last one we're going to do, x minus 3, x minus 7. Let's break the first parenthesis apart. X, negative 3. Let's put my second parenthesis with both of these. That would be x, negative 7, x, negative 7. X times x, that gives me my x squared, and x times 7 is 7x. Positive times negative is negative 7x. 3 times x is 3x. Negative times positive is negative. 3 times 7 is 21. Negative times negative makes that 21 positive. So at this point, all we have left to do is combine our like terms. I have no like terms for my x squared, so I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to combine my middle two. I have negative 7x. I'm going to add negative 3x's to it. Signs are the same, so I add. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I have 10x, and I just keep the same sign, negative. I have no like terms for my constant. That's the number without the variable. That's a positive 21, so I'm going to bring it straight down. And that whole thing is equal to y. Okay, guys, this is foiling. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to contact me. Use my email, and I will respond back to you. But other than that, guys, have a good day, and we will see you on the next one.